Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Strange Origins Loki Edition podcast. It's episode 4.
Hello. Oh, yes.
This is the exciting one. Oh man, what an episode! I'm not gonna lie.
So much, man. Man.
I don't know how anyone can be saying that they're not enjoying Loki if they are, because it's just been insane. I love this show. It's got to be my top one now.
It's definitely I guess last week's episode was just the middle.
It was a filler. That was a filler one.
And it was just it's just that fucking one line that Sylvie delivered. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But
this week,
this one, it's like chef's kiss. Like WandaVision, I loved WandaVision. Don't get me wrong. Falcon Winter Soldier was good just because I liked the characters. It wasn't as good as WandaVision. This is just better, I think. Like you can't even deny it now.
No. It's like it stepped up to the point where it's basically what's making the entire fucking MCU right now.
Yeah. It is
big stone basically.
You know when movies have a prologue and all that stuff, and they have that beforehand. This is literally it. This is what is making everything fucked up.
Exactly.
So but I can't wait to get diving in with this.
So much.
So where do you want to start? I mean, do you want to start at the beginning?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, just the first scene was just TVA, you fucking piece of shit. Piece of shit.
They really are. I mean, we said this before. We knew something was up with the TVA.
I was like, fuck, the way he just fully manhandled the baby Sylvie. I was like, shit, man. So you treat her like a fucking adult,
Because I was like, oh, there's Asgard, and I was like, oh wait, this is her origin.
Yeah.
And it was cool as well. They didn't dwell on it too long, or anything like that. They just showed you a quick clip. This is what's happened. That's it, done.
Yeah.
But she was. I mean, the fact that she got away as well, at such a young age.
Yeah, I know,
it's quite
man.
surprising.
It kind of makes me think, I wonder if that's the reason why they started having the neck thing.
Maybe.
So
yeah, she could be the origin of that piece of tech.
Yeah. Because even when the first thing when they were holding the guy when the guy that came in and she was like, "Oh, help him." You know?
Yeah.
They didn't even have the fucking neck because they were fully manhandling him and stuff.
It's also what I found kind of weird, because that comment that she made, "Oh, help him," is very un-Loki. It's not a Loki comment. That's a Thor comment. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. So I was like, this is definitely a different Loki that we're dealing with. Or at least it was. She turned bad, I guess, or bad, whatever you want to say.
I think she had to turn bad, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was on the run since she was what? I'll guess that's the age of 11, 12. Yeah. She was on the run the whole time.
Yeah, and it's just supposed to be the same age as the Loki that we know now.
Yeah.
Which is 1,000+ years.
Yeah.
So
Jesus
imagine
Christ.
that just running, hopping through different events.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, honestly. I was like, oh yeah, she was on the run for 20 years. It's like, no, she was on the run for took a long time to figure that one out, innit? No, so obviously we see that part. We also saw I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here. Whenever I watch these episodes, funny enough, this it doesn't go in order in my head.
Oh, yeah,
so but anyway, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but there's that part where she said about what's her name, Hunter C something. The one that had the little charm. She got charmed. Yeah, by enchanted. That's it. By Sylvie. And straight away she's like, oh yeah, no, she died. It deteriorated, and even before anything happened, I was like, that's bullshit. There's no fucking way.
Exactly. Because even Mobius said she was fine, and it was just she was a bit frazzled, mind boggled and stuff.
And even he knows as well. I don't think Sylvia has really killed people for no reason. She's always killed people. I don't even know if she's killed people really. She's killed them when they're in her way, sort of thing. You know. I think that's the idea it went down. But with with her finding out no, she's dead and all that stuff. I was like, not really sure about that one.
Yeah, it's just the way that she explained it. It's almost it's just it's just one of those days in the office, but it's not. It's just she died. She was mumbling when she came here, and we just had to fucking kill her. I was like, oof.
Yeah, it was just sort of she just deteriorated fast and she died, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the weirdest thing is she was she's lost her speech. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's okay, but from there you start to see Mobius getting a bit sus. He's like,
Oh yeah,
what's going on.
I think you got it right though. You definitely got it right from
Well,
last week's
yeah,
episode.
like I said two theories, and luckily one of them was right. So,
I'm still
like,
holding on to my theory, okay?
that's
My one theory.
that's 3-0 right now. But who's counting? I don't know. But honestly, like the time zone thing still makes sense to me. Like it still did because like that building did kind of go back. It reversed in
Yeah,
time.
that's what's weird about it.
But
But no one's picking. Actually, I've had like one YouTuber, actually two YouTuber pick it up, and I was like,
yeah,
maybe I'm on something. I don't know.
maybe I don't know. Like at the moment, like I don't really know what's going on with Loki. Like in his, I haven't seen him use his powers like for a while, so it's kind of weird. But it could be that it could have time zone. But anyway, we're talk about old theories. So, but yeah, from then on, like we see, I mean, we saw like just before they get saved as well. Like they had like this little love moment.
Oh yeah.
Which is like we had this discussion. We're not sure if it's right, wrong. What is it?
I guess in this circumstances, like I guess it's okay.
We're giving Loki the benefit of the doubt here.
No, because like, because I'm kind of counting on you because like you know about more like about the whole Loki mythos, right? It's like, is he that full of himself to the point where he just wants to have sex with like basically himself from a different universe?
Honestly,
like,
like
from a different timeline?
he probably
Is
would.
it like,
That's the thing.
like, in the mythos.
Yeah.
Is it
No. Well, like that doesn't happen, but he is like weird. So like in the mythos, like the Norse mythology of Loki and stuff, he's transformed himself into like animals to have sex with animals before. Like he's done that. That's happened in mythos and all that stuff. He's also transformed into an animal to have sex with a human, and then the woman gave birth to like a monster. Like he's done things like that before. So, but I don't know if that's on the same level as like having sex with yourself. But like he has also done like stuff like I mean, they all like were related. So I don't think it really mattered back then. Like even in Greek mythology and stuff, they were all brothers and sisters, so it didn't really matter. Like
yeah. Because
So,
I was just thinking that like because they had that whole heart to heart moment. I was like, damn, is this really him? Like so full of himself that he's gonna fuck himself.
honestly,
basically,
it could. I mean, it could be, but it's also like it goes back to what later on when he gets stuck in that sort of time loop prison bit, where Sif was saying like you'll always be alone. Yeah. And it's sort of like, yeah, he would, unless he found himself, some kind of thing. Like, the only person that would understand him is himself. So maybe that would be his love interest. I don't know. It could be. Like, he would do it, right? I mean, we know Loki. I don't think... The way they're portraying it, though, is not so much him doing it because he's in love with himself. He's doing it because she's... Yeah, like, she's genuinely caring and, like, he's caring as well.
I think it's just because, like, she understands what he's going through, like because she's a Loki, that they have to be alone, that they're destined to lose, they're destined to just constantly fail, and the fact that in that moment of them almost dying, basically, they're just like, I guess it's destiny.
We need to talk about that for a second as well. The visuals on that planet, I would have been bricking it, like Jesus Christ.
For me, that was him. I would just be like, take me,
mate. No, you'd be shitting yourself.
But it's like, man, if it's inevitable, man.
But it's so scary though. Like
it's well done. Like cinematography was well done.
Like I saw like the planet, the moon colliding with the planet, and I was like, like what are you meant to do at that point?
Yeah, exactly. And then you see like from the perspective of above, these fucking chunks, just like.
But even though, like, going back to, like, sort of prediction thing, even though I got the prediction that the TVA was going to find them and they were going to get them, I didn't predict that the reason why was because they were going to, like, actually fracture the timeline so severely because they were going to, like, I guess, kiss? I think they were going to build up to a kiss. So it's like, that I didn't know. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that it was going to just go, like, this is not meant to happen. And I guess because technically both these variants aren't meant to exist. Like, they're meant to have been pruned already.
Well, she's not supposed to exist. But
no, is this Loki? Because remember, he got pulled out of his timeline. You don't get put back in your timeline. That's it. You're done. So, he was meant to be pruned, like, ages ago. Like, his trial at the beginning was his trial. Like, and then Mobius was like, no, let me use him to catch Sylvie. So, he was already going to be gone. So it's kind of weird. But my question was like to you in that is why would two people that aren't meant to exist kissing fracture the timeline so much, especially on an apocalyptic event where none of it's meant to matter anyway. That's where this is starting to get into the timey-wimey bit, like where it's confusing. Because it's like, the reason Sylvie was hiding in these apocalypses is because everything you do there doesn't matter. Everything gets wiped out, right?
Yeah.
So why would two nobodies who aren't meant to exist kissing fracture the timeline so much? And I had two theories, basically. One is that all of this was all meant to happen. This is all part of the plan. Like, them breaking out and all that stuff is all part of the plan, right? But them falling in love wasn't. The second theory is if it's kind of like the old school theory of like, oh, if you go back in time and touch yourself like on the fingertips, it implodes the entire timeline. So like these two kissing was not meant to happen at all. Like it does something crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hoping it's the first because I think the first is like way more like clever. That this is all meant to be part of the plan.
I'd say, but if it's part of the plan, the spike wouldn't go that fast and that steep. That's the weirdest shit about it.
That's what I'm thinking is that these spikes and stuff are kind of planned anyway. Like, you have to plan for spikes.
Yeah, because she made the reference. She's like, is it truth comes out and then chaos or something?
Yeah, or it's something like the Earth craves, like, the chaos. Like, it's always trying to pull chaos back into place.
Yeah, so I'd say,
So it makes sense, like especially because all of them are variants. Especially, everyone working at TVA is a variant, so... It's weird that, what if someone has a relationship with the TVA? Did they destroy the timeline? That doesn't make sense.
No, but the same kind of, in a way, the tension was with Mobius and...
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't make sense. So it must be something special about Lokis in general.
But I think it's because they're two Lokis.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be something special because it's Loki, right? So I'm going to skip ahead because we have to mention this now because we're talking about this, right? The end credit scene. We have to talk about the end credit scene, right? The end credit scene had 4 Lokis. Like, 4 other Lokis after Loki had just been pruned. And, dude, when he gets, like, yeered, I was like... What?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because at the beginning, right? So when... We're going all over the place here, so follow us. Like, the audience is going to have to follow us on this tangent. But when Mobius gets pruned, right? I was like, shit, I didn't think they would kill, like, Owen Wilson. Like, with 2 episodes left. Right?
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, you know what I'm doing? Like, I was like, maybe pruning doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
That's what I thought straight away, right? But I wasn't sure, so I didn't like, I didn't think of anything of it. Then when Loki got yeeted, I was like, nah, definitely. There's no way they've killed Loki. Like, there's absolutely no way. Like, he's definitely getting sent to the Shadow Realm or something like that. There's no way.
Well, good point, because someone, like another YouTuber, pointed out that like it's actually in New York City.
Oh, is it?
The whole thing, because you see the Avengers towers in the background, but destroyed. So this is like the timeline may be that when Tony Stark didn't pull the rocket all the way to the top, it actually
destroyed Manhattan.
Yeah. So that's where like I don't know why most Loki would go. I guess.
Well, but also, go on.
I'm thinking, right? Those Loki are basically variant, and like whenever they get zapped, they get sent there, but it's only Loki run timeline. If that makes sense.
Maybe.
So same thing goes with Mobius. So like, there's a bunch of probably a Mobius planet out there.
I see. I think it's the other way around. I think we're gonna see Mobius on the Loki planet. I think that everyone who gets pruned gets sent to this planet, and they essentially just die because it's an apocalyptic planet. But the people who get sent there can survive if you're like a god. I mean, Loki is a god, right? So he can survive. And I think those people that get pruned survive. I mean,
because I was just okay. The only reason I'm thinking that it's just a Loki place is because first you have the actual Loki, the old man with the fucking horn in there. When you see, it is like spirit image in the comics.
Oh, right? that is. So I've done my research on this, right? I even looked up on IMDb because I know that actor. He's a very famous actor. He's Richard E. Grant is his name.
Yeah.
His reference on IMDb. I don't know if it's a mistake. I don't know if they meant to put this, but if you go onto Loki and look down, you'll see Richard E. Grant there, and his name there is Classic Loki, or Original Loki, or something like that.
Fucking yeah, because the way he looks. So
yeah.
this is a bunch of Loki planet, basically, right?
It's basically where all the variants have been sent. That's literally it. Because there's the alligator Loki, or the crocodile Loki.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah.
I had to go back and watch it, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's a crocodile in that guy's hand." Like, what the fuck? And I don't know the kid one. I've never seen the kid one.
Yeah, that's another reference in the comics again.
Okay, and this one's like the one that actually has the hammer, like right?
Yeah, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Mjolnir.
So, but it doesn't look like Mjolnir. It looks like he's made it himself. It looks very weird, that hammer.
Yeah.
But I know that, like I was telling on this podcast before, that there is a Loki that has a hammer, and I was like, oh, it would be cool to see that Loki. And now we're fucking seeing them all.
Going back to that, right? If all Lokis are supposed to be like, because Silver said it herself, like, I don't know if it's just me, but like she said it, like the reason why she got captured, or the reason why they erased her timeline, is because she's a female Loki.
Is that what she said? I didn't hear that.
I'm not she said, but like I feel like that's what she's trying to imply, because we're mostly seeing all male Lokis, even when they were going through the variant in the first or second episode, where they were like, yeah, there's a big fucking
That is
Loki.
true. We haven't seen any of them. Maybe that's the risk with Sylvie, is like, if there's a female Loki, there's more chance, like there will be 100% chance that a Loki will fall in love with her or something like that. It might be a weird thing like that, because like maybe they're so narcissistic, maybe. But like, I don't know, like we're getting our wish, because we wanted this from like, I think the first Loki episode was like, when we saw the variants, we were like, oh, what if it'd be sick if we saw all the variants.
Yeah,
it looks like we're gonna get that. But it looks like that when you get pruned, it's in my theory anyway, you get pruned, you get sent to either an apocalyptic planet, or a timeline that's been forgotten about, where you can't get back from. That's what I'm thinking. And when you get sent here after you've been pruned, because I guess it's easier to send people to this pruned like timeline, rather than just killing them and just get rid of the body and all this stuff. So like this way, just done, gone, right? Yeah. It's not my problem anymore. But I don't think they're counting on like Loki, like this Loki, our Loki. And if it does like really fit into your theory really well. Like if he does have a fucking time stone on him, he can get back from there quite easily.
Yeah.
So
that's if he has time.
If I don't know. But there's so many ifs. The only thing I want to like prerequisite this with though is that I still think that everyone at the TVA thinks pruning does kill you though. I don't think even the girl knows that it sends them to another timeline. Like the woman what's her name?
Ravana.
Yeah, Ravana. Yeah.
I agree. But again, that's brainwashing, right?
Oh yeah, it's all the propaganda.
So,
like yeah.
And it's like it makes you think like what else? Like is the whole is Kang has Kang already fucking?
We haven't. Oh, I still think so. Yes. But we'll get to that in a minute. We haven't even addressed the biggest like bombshell of that episode, which was the fucking timekeepers were robots.
Yep.
Like.
You see it,
like, so is this another Marvel like slap you sort of like, you thought we were bringing the timekeepers in, but they're not. Like
what?
They did this before in WandaVision, where everyone thought it was Mephisto and it wasn't.
Yeah, or fucking Mandarin from Iron Man.
Yeah, like they did it. Like they've done this before, so I'm like, do the timekeepers actually exist, or what I think that Kang's already in?
Yeah.
I think Kang's already in.
I'm starting to get on that board, because like when Sylvie killed the first guy on top, they started fucking laughing, and I'm like,
yeah,
are you gonna pop out anytime soon, like Kang? Like maybe the next episode?
Yeah, I think this is why Kang was so like watching these two so closely.
Yeah,
and but again, I still think it's part of his plan, man. Like, why else would he? Like, think of it this way, right? Why even give the opportunity to Sylvie to or Loki to get out by bringing them before you so you could watch them be pruned? Like, why even hear the last word? You didn't need to do that. I think he wanted them to break out. Like, he wants the timeline to be screwed and broken, but in his way. Yeah. There needs to be a very specific way that it needs to be broken in order for his plan to come about. That's what I think.
And it involves those two Loki.
Yeah, definitely. And
I think mostly like our Loki that's going to be involved more.
I think even the love between Loki and Sylvie, I think, has been orchestrated by Kang. I think he wanted them to fall in love. He made them go through all this so they can fall in love, so they can fracture the timeline. That's why he's done it, and that's why he killed like one of. Oh, maybe he wasn't planning for this, but I don't know. That's why Loki died, like that, and then and then she is going to feel so emotional now about what's happened. I don't know. Or this Rowena girl, whatever her name is gonna know exactly what's going on, and she's gonna tell Sylvie everything. I don't know.
Oh yeah, apparently because in comics again, it's like she's not supposed to be the evil person.
No, but also like
So
that TVA girl is meant to be the love interest of Kang. So
yeah, so I don't know if it's like some weird fucking like, oh, I'm only doing this because I'm a double agent or triple agent. Who knows? Like, you know.
also like one thing to think about is the way that time works at the TVA. The space between Mobius getting pruned and Loki getting pruned might have been a longer time than we think.
True.
Because
True.
otherwise Loki or Mobius should be right there when he landed. Like it was only like a minute, 2 minutes, well maybe 15 minutes if we're being generous. It was only like that much of a gap. So maybe he's been there for a year or something. I don't know, and he's integrated with the other Lokis. I don't know. I thought they definitely foreshadowed it. By the way, like the multiple Lokis. I don't know if you got. This is why I think Mobius is going to turn up on the planet or wherever they are, because that girl says to him like, "Oh, you've been hanging around Lokis too much," and he's like, "Yeah, I've been hanging around too many Lokis," and now he's in the middle of all the fucking variants of Lokis. I think that was the reference towards it. Because Mobius ain't dead. We know he's not dead.
Yeah, no, he's not dead. Yeah. So oh man,
there's so much going on in my brain. This was such a good episode. Like I want to go and watch it again. Like it's so good.
Honestly, yeah, I'm excited. I get to watch it again with my fiance. So
yeah. Literally, like, and there's only 2 more episodes.
Oh, I'm sad.
Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't like now. I don't know the way it ends. I would definitely tell you that. I may have got like 3 predictions right, but I don't think I could even begin to predict the last episode.
I think if the timeline's gonna shatter, and
it has. We know it has to end like that, right?
It's gonna create all these other fucking like the reason why the films are fucking lined up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the films is coming out, it has to, but it's just how it's gonna get there. I'm fucking mind blown. Like honestly,
I'm so excited, but I'm also like, I'm sad as well because obviously it's gonna end soon. But
I wonder if they can do a season 2. Oh,
I don't think they can. I don't think any of these are planned to be season 2.
Nah, yeah.
It's all like that's it, man. You get one.
It's well written, man.
It is. I want more Tom Hiddleston in my life.
Can we just like appreciate it, man, for like a second time last week and this week?
I love the way he does like Loki. Like he does like this proper like hair flick up every once in a while. Have you seen it? When he falls on the floor, when he gets hit on the floor, so he goes, "Wow!"
And he fucking like he like fixes his head like
yeah.
Like I really like I love this man because like his acting is disgustingly phenomenal. Like we don't.
I was gonna say like with tough stuff like where people are like, oh, the casting for Captain America and Iron Man was spot on. It's like so was Loki. Loki's spot on. This is exactly how I see Loki even in the comics. Like Tom Hiddleston.
I think it was like better than Iron Man in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I mean Iron Man was pretty spot on though. Like
yeah, no, it was like looks now like with charisma, but this one because it's like because he hasn't had his moment yet.
Yeah,
it's shining so much.
Will he ever? We don't know.
Like,
do you think? I wonder if he might learn like some new tricks from these other Lokis, because it seems like he was trying to learn the enchantment from Sylvie. True.
Yeah.
I wonder if he learns like. Oh, dude! If he gets back and he just picks up Thor's hammer or something, that'd be dirty. Like he can. It happens in the comics. He picks up Thor's hammer.
It's him in space, right?
No. He picks it up. He picks it up and beats Thor with it because and then Thor tries to lift it and he can't lift it anymore because he's like, you're not worthy anymore.
You don't, bitch.
The problem with Thor that most people don't know about because only like I guess most people only know him from like the Marvel films.
Movies. Yeah.
Is that Thor's actually kind of shit sometimes. Like he frequently can't pick up the hammer. It's like he's got like ED, like erectile dysfunction. He literally sometimes just can't pick up the hammer. He's just like, I'm not worthy anymore. Like every once in a while.
It's like I wonder why, dipshit.
Yeah. But Thor is like he gets like pretty angry sometimes as well and loses his cool. Like he's got proper rage issue.
Like he's definitely got his dad's side, and Loki's definitely got the mother's side.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Where it's like more mythological and like, but still like fucking like
on point. Like, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I definitely like the way they're going with that.
okay, like this is going back to fucking like a few steps back, but like,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
we just like the fight scenes, please stop, stop.
They're not good.
Just, I'm sorry, I love it. I fucking love the entire series, but
Yeah.
the fight scenes.
And I really didn't want to mention it, like, because it's just like that part where they were fighting together. I was like, ah.
It hurt my soul because while Ravana and Sylvie was talking, having
Yeah.
their moment, I just see it in my back like
By the
like
way,
some weird fucking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on
you
here?
know the other Hunter girl, the one that broke Sylvie out, right? Where did she go in that fight?
Oh, she got knocked out.
Oh, did she? I didn't even see.
she like she threw the sword to Sylvie.
She got slapped.
Just like, bang, she just
I did not even notice. I was like, where is she not fucking helping? And I also like thought something was up as well. Like when Loki was fighting nearer to the timekeepers and they didn't do anything, and I was like, they're meant to be pretty strong as well. Like,
yeah,
so that's why I was like, are they even them? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I thought they were gonna leash, like fucking like either move around with their fucking floating chair or like you know get away from it or like. But yeah, it's just like
so.
It definitely felt weird.
Apart from Kang, right?
Yeah.
What could it be? I don't understand. Like, who would have made robots of timekeepers? Like, I don't.
Fuck. There's another one. There's actually a being. I don't remember his name, but he was supposed to be the original creator. Like he's the one that made TVA.
Oh, okay.
And I can't remember his name. He's like some weird old looking man. I can't remember his name.
Do you think like this and like WandaVision is connected? Like, do you think the person pulling the strings? Because remember when I said in WandaVision episode that guy, the general who was fucking over Wanda for some reason, like he definitely wasn't making the decisions. Do you think that the same guy is doing it to this? Like he's messing up the timeline in a certain. He wants it to happen in a certain way. Like he's already made the Scarlet Witch kind of unstable, right?
Yeah.
So he's done that, and he's going to make her go for her children. You know, like where that's going to fracture the timeline. He's now doing, if it is a guy, he's now doing the same thing with Loki and Sylvie. It's almost like this has all been orchestrated together. You know?
Okay.
I don't know. It just feels linked because this is all the same sort of alternate, like altering reality sort of thing.
Yeah, because again, like this is all leading up to fucking. I'm most excited for Multiverse of Madness because this is all, in my opinion, leading into that.
Which unfortunately doesn't come until like the end of the year.
It's fucking sad.
Another 6 months.
Is it like the middle of next year?
I thought it was the beginning of next year.
Because Spider-Man comes out at the end of this year.
Yeah, December it comes out.
Then
I thought it was like a couple of months after. It wasn't like middle.
Again, it's a possibility that this thing could have been like from the beginning, you know, like after Thanos died, there could have been like a new fucking like just.
I'm just so confused because like I also thought like isn't Doctor Strange like meant to be keeping tabs on all this shit? Like
yeah, because like
does he know about the TVA?
I don't think so.
I feel like he should. He's like Sorcerer Supreme, right? He should know about.
Yeah, but Sorcerer in his timeline.
True.
So it's like, and what is it? Mobius did say like the TVA doesn't really come for you because unless we want you to know us, we will fucking let you know.
It's
like,
just so weird though because like all that stuff with Dormammu and like him using the Time Stone and all that was meant to happen. Like the TVA have got like proper fucking stick up their ass, man. They're like, oh yeah, no, we let this happen. This was meant to happen. It's just like this guy reversed time like 100 times on Dormammu, and he was like, "Wow!" Like he's like, "I want to fucking die!" Like
it's like how this is not fracturing any timeline.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Thanos snapping half the universe was fine. It's like, what kind of sacred timeline is this?
Again, this is just mad. That might just be like their idea of their sacred timeline.
This is why I think that the TVA is full of bullshit. Like, I don't think there is a sacred timeline. I think it's just a load of bollocks.
I completely agree, and I think
damn the TVA.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna find out. I think by the end of maybe either this like series, we're gonna fucking find out that TVA is just gonna either die or they're just gonna fucking gonna accept the fact that there's no one true timeline.
Or from the first episode, they're gonna burn it all down. Loki. That's what he did say. So
it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
I apologize to everyone because we've pretty much not answered any questions in this one because there is nothing we couldn't answer anything. Literally nothing has given us any information apart from the end screens of it. Yeah,
it's just more questions.
Apart from the end credit scene, it was so good. Like finding out that. I mean, I want to know more about that alligator Loki. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like
apparently, it's a reference to Thor being again to Thor becoming the frog, and then he becomes the fucking.
I just want to see. I'm sure there's a comic out there where he's like an animal, like a talking alligator or something. That'd be sick.
That'd be fucking jokes. But
I don't know. I apologize for us not answering many questions, but I hope you could enjoy the discussion. Feel free to join in the discussion and comment down below what you think. If you think Kang's actually there, or do you think this is just completely like a curveball by Marvel and it's not Kang at all? But
we have seen Marvel just fuck around with us, so it's a possibility.
It could be some random villain we've never seen before. Like, let us know. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends if they're watching Loki, and we'll see you for the penultimate episode next week.
Peace.